welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a coffee, Patreon, crypto, and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using stock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by D-Rose, Neil, and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server. So welcome one and all.
How are you?
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. End of a very long week. So I've got a funeral to attend next week, so there will be a couple of reruns towards the beginning half of next week's typically live broadcast schedule. Let's say 2 PM UK time. There will be a couple of reruns going out. So unfortunately for me, it's my father's funeral. Very sad and depressing that is. Has to be done, as is the case with any funeral. So life goes on for everyone else, except for my father, unfortunately for him. But there we go. He was a good man, and he had a great life, so we'll celebrate that on Tuesday, and I'll be back hopefully on Wednesday, maybe Thursday of next week. But in the meantime, this is going to round out an absolutely exhausting week. And not just exhausting for me, exhausting for my couple of ghostwriters that have been helping me write the book. Say write the book, we say edit the book, but given that we've got accusations hurled around that the book ain't mine, and I've got ghostwriters, I don't mind saying writing when it comes to this particular part of the process. There are huge chunks of the book that are directly ascribable to both Adam Meakin and Quantum Eraser, and I'm extremely proud to have that fact be aired to a public audience and eventually sold to them in book format. So I'm privileged to have the people around me that I do. Very grateful that I am for their help in writing the book, which will be out shortly. But in so doing, I am absolutely exhausted. So enough selling microphones, running live shows, and doing books eventually does get the best of you. So, you know, as you can probably see, it's slapped all over my face. I am absolutely exhausted. But there we go. Life's good. I'm paying my mortgage. I'm happy enough about that. This would be right about the time. Go ahead, Neil.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How on earth are we?
Very well. And is it Angelo? Anglo?
Anglo.
Anglo. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, Nathan, is that, yeah, ghostwriters, say whatever you want, ranty. Everything that's coming and everything that's going to be on this book stems from 10 years of the show, okay? End the story.
And I'd like to add, ghostwriting is not a bad thing. For all the greatest Grammy Award, platinum, diamond, gold albums of songwriters and rappers and singers have had ghostwriters. It doesn't take away the authenticity of the artist's skills. So, and by him having his buddies doing it, who have been on the show for the past 10 years, I don't even understand what the problem is.
There isn't a problem. Number one, yeah. D, they are not my ghostwriters. Me leaning into that notion isn't actually QE and Adam writing my book for me as they go through the fourth draft, editing it and tidying it up, adding meat to bones that are already there, and adding extra high-quality citations where my wiki ones don't cut it. Now, that is not them writing my book for me. So you used to suggest that by comparison to bleeding Britney Spears, who's got better writers than she could ever muster, well, no. In this case, having people help me edit my book and having huge chunks of their material be part of my book doesn't mean it's their book or that they are actually ghostwriters. They're not. But we'll lean into it if people want to accuse us of having those things tied to the absolutely astonishing and amazing book that it will eventually be, not to deny the help that I've received from fantastic minds like Quantum Eraser and Adam.
Like I just said, everything's been discussed on the show for 10 years. What the heck?
Did you have to use
What's the
Britney
problem?
Spears?
She's
Did you have to
currently...
use Britney Spears?
Well, she's catching headlines at the moment. It's topical. She's acting weird again on TikTok. And people are worried about her, thinking that she's going bonkers because she's in a conservatorship and acting weird. You're like, there's nothing normal about Britney Spears. Even if she wasn't in a conservatorship, she'd still be abnormal. So I think she's the perfect example. But there's loads of great Britney Spears songs. For example, I mean, there's not loads that I particularly like, but there's loads of songs that would be considered great Britney Spears songs. But Toxic is a great song. Certainly not written by Britney Spears. Like you say, a ghostwriter. Now, I couldn't tell you off the top of the head what the name of the specific ghostwriter for Toxic was. But she's at the time, she'd written a bunch of different pop songs. And it's the same now. If you look at an Ed Sheeran song, there's a whole list of writers that go along. Obviously, there's a few Ed Sheeran songs that are Ed Sheeran's, but for the most part, people aren't writing their own songs. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. You mentioned one yesterday, actually, D-Rose, Billie Eilish, right? Her and her brother do it all from the comfort of their own home. Now, when people say bedroom studio, let's not undermine what is professional quality that she's pumping out with her brother. And she is, as I say, controlling it all and doing it all within a very small group of people. Now, that's not her having ghostwriters. That's not her having ghost producers. That's not a whole team of people coming together to make a nice pop song that's going to sell millions. And many of the other people who are out there on the current pop circuit are like that. But not Billie Eilish. That doesn't mean that she does it solely by herself. That would be impossible. And in the case of the quality that is demanded of this Flat Earth book, it would be impossible for me to achieve such a high standard by myself. You get by with a little bit of help from your friends.
Well, here you go.
Exactly. I brought up Billie Eilish, not D-Rose.
No, I did.
No, I did.
Oh, wow,
did
bloody
first.
hell. Like it matters.
All right, listen, though. Hold on, listen. Now, here's a good comparison. The Nathan Oakley 1980 show. Now, just because Adam, Meekin, Brian, Logic, Refractive, Huey, Chocolate, Eli, and everybody else joins in on the panel and contributes all aspects of the flat earth, doesn't mean that it's their show. It's still Nathan's show. Same thing with this book. Just because all of the panel and peers and colleagues and friends that contribute, that have been contributing for the past decade or so, contribute to this book, doesn't mean it's their book. It's still Nathan Oakley's book.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, by the same token, now you've swung in the correct direction. I can still affirm that Adam and QE are fundamental to the level of quality that my book will have. Therefore, they will absolutely be the only people who get an acknowledgement because of the huge amount of work that they've put in helping me develop the book into what it is. Yeah, there's going to be essence of Adam and essence of QE in the book. And if you're reading it and you're familiar with the show, you'll detect it. Now, me, I'm not going to deny that. I'll praise it. It's like, yeah, of course I got help from people with greater minds than my own. Would you prefer it was just me poring over this and editing it? There'd be spelling errors, for a start. I'm dyslexic. So I'm not going to do this process, the editing process, that is. Now, in the editing process, there's going to be a certain amount of, editorial freedom that QE and Adam have been given by me when editing the book. Now, that is to say that when they change sometimes huge chunks of my text to make it make more sense or be more readable, and they pat themselves on the back as good authors, that's why they're going to get an acknowledgement at the end of the book, or at the beginning. I don't know where it'll go in yet. But they deserve it because they've put so much in. Now, that's not to say that when I previously had suggested that anybody who is feeling that they are deserving of a mention in the book, you can think like you got a mention. You won't. In the case of Adam and QE, it's like, well, most of the argumentation that I use full stop is quantum eraser argumentation. So if you want to look at it from that perspective, you could say, well, the entire book belongs to QE then. You're like, all art is theft. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything's an inspiration from something else. Trying to explain this with microphones. It's like somebody had criticised me for flogging a microphone that was a blatant rip-off of a Shure. You're like, of course it is. Everything's a blatant rip-off of something. That's how stuff gets made. Everything's ripping off something else. There's very, very little truly unique things out there. And microphones certainly aren't one of them. Yeah? As for flat earth information, what we've done in the book is highlight that which was obvious to everyone. Let me explain. If you're on the ball side of this argument, there's going to be a point in the discussion that you are confronted with a flat earther pointing out that your argument as a ball earther relies upon you measuring Earth flat for you to move forward in your delusional ball belief. And the flat earther, maybe the baller proactively will do this, but potentially the flat earther will point out you require sea level for the sake of argument. And the measurement that is in necessitation of a sea level for the measurement will be apologised for by said ball believer with the following words. Of course we measure it flat. Earth's really big. Now this is a fact that both sides of the argument have understood implicitly from day one. And nobody's brought it to a head that for us to move forward in this argument, we all must measure surface level as a horizontal plane of reference. That's us measuring Earth flat. To argue about how far away the horizon in linear measured miles, that's flat. Disappears behind a Earth curve that's below the surface level we just measured. Now, as I break this down in 2025, for the flat earthers, it's just like, yeah, we know, we lived it. Yeah, you can concisely explain it. And the book will detail it. And it'll have an air of polish on top of that concise verbal explanation I've just given that might have a whiff of Quantum Eraser or Adam Meakin as you read it. But it will be to the point, concise, and obvious. Not, oh, I don't know if I believe this man when he says there's an ethereal power source ready to deliver the world's energy for free. Ha ha ha! Strokes White Cat. No, that could be, perceived as bullshit. Now, I'm not suggesting that Dave Weiss or Jaron or Whitsitt or any of these charlatans should be perceived as anything other than truly honest-intentioned folk, let's just say. You don't have to view them as charlatans for saying that they're going to give you a free energy source from the sky and called it ether with absolutely not a shred of proof. What the book will offer you is something totally different. Yeah? Something that you understand implicitly and your opponent will agree with when you tell them they measure Earth flat. That's what the book will give you. And that requires a level of polish beyond all other polishes. A level of understanding being offered to the mind's eye of the person who's just read those words in my book that leaves them in no doubt what Earth actually is. Flat.
Well said.
Yeah, I keep saying that there's like only a downhill, but there isn't with anything with purchasing. You asked about the microphone sales. And you keep thinking, this is the top of the hill. I won't buy any more. But then there's an opportunity to buy one at the right price, and you're like, I can't really pass up that opportunity to keep making a little bit of profit because I don't know how long the book will take. But that said, I put the brakes on about 2 or 3 weeks ago, like stop getting up at 6 a.m. to buy microphones, which I was doing. Now I just like, if there's an opportunistic, cheap bargain of a microphone, I'll buy it. And I'm not going out of my way to buy any. So the number of mics that I had reached 100. Now it's dropping. So it's now at something like 75, and I've sold 130. Well, that's a lot of sales and buying. But like I say, I want it to peter out. And as that, work, which is all it is, peters out, as will the money, obviously, I'll fade in the sales of the book and going out on the circuit and promoting it. And and then it'll be back to focusing on YouTubing, and hopefully going out on the circuit will have a knock-on effect on the YouTube ad revenue as people come to the channel more as a result of me going out promoting the book. So hopefully those two things will be symbiotic in that regard. And I don't want to continue to sell microphones. I'm very happy that in the process of buying and selling microphones, I've acquired a very nice microphone for my show, which is this one. I've got a Neumann KMR81i, which is an absolutely fantastic microphone for blocking out background noises like kids knocking around as they are now, or if the door goes. So I'm delighted with that. And I also got one of these second microphone, which is this one, which is also a Neumann, which I scored. Now, when you buy these things, you don't necessarily intend to keep them, but as the case may be, I will keep both of these mics. And as I said to Brian when I was like, do you want a microphone? You're going to be doing interviews and stuff soon. And when you are, I want you to have good audio. Because he was like, when I come on the show, I've just got my phone and I don't need a better mic. I'm not sitting in front of the computer. I'm like, yeah, but you will be. You'll be talking to people. You'll be doing shows. You'll be doing interviews. And I want Brian to have a good mic. So I'm trying to talk him into having them. He's just kind of a Neumann. And I've told him, you're not having a Neumann.
Pardon me. The one you're speaking to is what? The Neumann what?
This is a Neumann KMR81i, the one I'm talking to you on now. It's a shotgun mic.
Is that the short, stubby one?
They're both pretty short and stubby, but this one's long and thin.
Okay. And you're trying to get rid of one of them?
No, I'm keeping both of them.
Oh, man. I thought you was getting rid of them.
No, I'm not getting rid of either of them. The two Neumanns I'm keeping. Right, one I'll do a voiceover for the book. Once it's all in progress, people are buying it, it's established. People have bought several copies of the audiobook by a professional voiceover artist, not me. That, something that can worthy of having a price tag put on it. The one by me might be an extra, like when you buy the audiobook you get the regular version and a boosty bonus if you happen to want it read by the author with lots of errors. Then you can. That'll be like an added bonus, but I'll do that read with the other Neumann, so with a proper large diaphragm mic like most people would do a voiceover with, but my shotgun mic it's not for that. It's to block out noise in the background. My wife's just coming in now as I'm saying this. You can't hear her, right? I mean, no doubt you haven't just heard the door open and her rattle around in the kitchen doing things, right? You can just hear me. That's the point of this mic. And it works beautifully. So it does work really well for a live show. Very happy. Man, there's nobody in our Discord server. It's because it's the 4th of July, isn't it? Very quiet here today.
Today's a national holiday, so you won't get many people here from the States, but it is a little early. Give it time.
There's like 3 people in the Discord server.
Omnivore's got 15.
Has he really?
Boy.
Oh, fantastic. So there'll be a bit of a break next week because of funerals, and then we'll be back in business again come maybe Wednesday or Thursday of next week. I'll start the live shows up again. I was tempted to not have a show at all today. If it stays this quiet, we might end up having only half an hour of show. We'll see how quiet it is. Yeah, so that's rounding out. So I'm winding down that particular part. It's going to be, or already is really, because if I'd have just spent that £600 on one Sawyer's mic, which is what I was going to buy at one point, right? I don't know if you remember. Well, that would have been a £600 investment that now I'd be going, crap, if only I still had that £600. Well, I have. I'm only £75 out of pocket, and that's what I used. I used that £600. So I've got all of that back now, and nice microphones. That's the point. So when it does come to me doing the voiceover read by the author, voice by author, whatever you call that type of audiobook, I'll have a nice mic to do it with. Not that I haven't already, but you know what I mean? I'll have a nicer mic, or the nicest mic I could do it with.
Well, speaking of, I had walked away from the phone. I heard bits and pieces, but speaking of the holiday, thanks to the holiday, I'm able to be present Well, otherwise I'd be at work right now. So that's why I was looking forward to the show today.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you've got stuff to talk about. I was just talking about rounding out early because it's so quiet. That and
You just started. You're looking to round out?
Wow. I know, right?
Yeah, only because I'm absolutely exhausted. Like I said, I was intending to maybe have the day off today, like in preparation for going down south. But I'm like, well, and no one knows I'm going to be at a funeral next week, so I should at least run the live show at the very minimum, just to let people know why there isn't a live show for early part of next week.
Did you hear what you just said, Nathan? Did you hear what you just said?
What?
You're going down south.
Yeah. Yeah, it is down. So from where I am at elevation, the elevation goes down to 0, right? I'm going to be going to the coast, to sea level, down from where I am now, 350 feet above sea level.
We could say that.
Okay.
They can't.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say that. There is a depression, a drop. The measurement of that drop from here, I mean, yeah, it's only 350 feet, 350 meters, I forget which. But that's still a drop with respect to horizontal, measured with respect to sea level. Now, I'm 150 miles inland. There's a curve between me and the coast. There's a 250 measured drop. That's what there actually is. And it's measured with respect to a horizontal plane of reference, sea level. So when I'm inland, 250 feet above sea level, that's not 250 feet plus curve. It's just 250 feet above a horizontal plane. That's what it is. That's how we measure. Now, where you are, you'll probably know you're high above sea level. Now, it doesn't matter if you're inland 1,000 miles. Yeah? Your height above sea level might only be a few hundred feet. Yeah? Some places in the States, inland, are below sea level. Aren't they? So, are they...
Absolutely.
How do you square that circle if you're going to be a ball-believing twat? Are you going to say, yeah, it goes below the sea level, but is also simultaneously curving up and out? It's both concave and convex simultaneously. Earth curve and a depression simultaneously. Like, no. To be below sea level, you're talking about below a horizontal plane of reference that is measured. Now, if there's a huge area that's, I don't know, 10 metres below sea level, that's a huge flat plane 10 metres below the referenced level of the ocean as a horizontal plane, averaged. Earth is measured flat. There's no other way to describe how Earth is measured, and it's not like it's contentious either. Like I said at the beginning of the show, put this to a ball believer. Oh, well, yeah, of course. It's so big. In other words, they all know it. We know it. Everyone knows it. It's how it's measured. Flat. Earth, that is.
Yeah, that's a fact. Now, back to the show. Why it's important that you have a show today is because a lot of people are off today that work and can't join live. So this is a treat for them.
Treat that we're live and they'd normally be at work not being able to watch live.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, lovely to have everyone here. I'm sure that will massively infect my numbers on the upward because we go viral, right? 49 people watching, Neil. I'm thinking no.
It's still early. Give it time.
Well,
You know, sometimes you gotta warm up, then get going.
I don't mind, so long as I've advertised the fact that there isn't a live show next week. That was my main intention for today's show. Telling people Earth's measured flat, that's a Brucey bonus, right? But please share the show. If you're in the live stream audience, I don't know if we've got anything to cover today, have we?
Well, the other day you did something that was pretty good. You started interacting with the chat a little bit.
You want me to interact with the chat?
Yeah, you did that one day, and it was pretty good. Got some questions out there. I haven't looked in the chat, so I don't know what's out there.
Okay, I don't mind if you want me to have a quick scroll through. The 4th is a great time for Darwinism to thin the herd. Okay, I don't really follow. Cool channel name, but But D Rose is laughing, so very good. Think about nephews. If you did want to interact in the live stream chat, now's your chance, because I am reading through it. So by the time you hear me saying this and then think of something that you would actually like to be interacted with.
Go look for the Deuce guy. D-E-U-S. Flat Earth has been debunked, with even simple things like the sun not changing angular size throughout the day, or wind turbines offshore being seen 2/3 submerged. What will the book contain?
He says Nathan owned himself and is coping, XD. Don't really know what you're referencing. Straight across the Earth is aviated flat. The Earth is flat, bosh. Yes, Christian. I think that might be in response to someone else. Okay, Deus, if you say so. Earth has never once been measured flat, said Deus. Of course it has. When you describe the obstruction that Neil detailed, I don't know where they read that comment from you, Deus, but how high or low something is obscured with respect to a plane of reference is a flat Earth measurement. The distance to the item that you're claiming is obscured is a linear measurement in miles or kilometres. So to describe your argument for a ball requires you acknowledge Earth is measured flat. Things like miles or heights, those are flat Earth measurements. Prerequisites that need a flat Earth to describe them, linear distance being the most obvious. So when you say Earth has never been measured flat, Earth is always measured flat. Your examples can't help but contain flat Earth measurements like distances and heights. I noticed that Wired Heart in the corner of the chat is gone. Oh, the weird heart. Yeah, I can turn that off and on. Yeah, that's up to me whether or not that's there, Adam. I'm just saying it doesn't make it so. Saying what? Are you telling that is that someone sticking their head in the sand because somebody's pointed out that Earth is measured flat with something? Well, I'm not just saying it. Miles isn't me saying it. Miles is a linear distance measurement. Requires a horizontal plane of reference. That's why the scales on the maps are flat. That's why all maps are flat. Because they wouldn't function with the linear scale of miles or kilometres if they weren't flat. So all measurements are flat, Deus. I'm not just saying it. Those are facts that you'll require to suggest that you're on a ball. What I take pleasure in at the moment, Deus, is taking people like yourselves examples where they think they're proving a ball and pointing out where they're utilising flat Earth measurements, like distances and heights. But your response can be like it can be to the chat, you know, to me. You can say, just saying it doesn't make it so. Well, okay. Miles aren't linear then. Okay.
Give us the ball measurements.
They'll be flat, won't they? If they're miles or heights off surface level, then they'll be flat. That's my point. They need Earth to be flat. And when it comes to them saying, oh, I've got a ball measurement. Okay, what you got? Well, if you look at the horizon where things are disappearing, 3 miles. Whoa. Let's just stop you there, big boy. 3 miles away. That's a linear distance. Plane of reference required. What are you talking about? You never seen a map? You never seen a scale on a flat map? It's not bending, dickhead. Anyway. Has it been measured curved, says cool channel name? No. You'd need flat planes of reference to describe the linear measurement if you're doing it in kilometres. Distance to horizon measurements in Earth curve maths relies on Earth being measured flat. You've got surface level in it. When people say things like Earth isn't measured flat, it's like, okay, so you deny the surface level measurement in the Earth curve maths then, dickhead. Because you need Earth to be flat. You're going to be measuring your height above it and parallel eye level with it. So if you want to deny that Earth is flat at surface level, feel free. We will toss out your Earth curve maths. So you're talking about things being obscured at the horizon? What, the geometric horizon at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height of a flat Earth? Oh, well, if Earth's not flat, we'll just kick those stupid, idiotic Earth curve maths that measures a flat Earth to the curb, shall we? Maybe you weren't watching yesterday's show when I did this with Duffy. All right, your claim to be experiments that require Earth be measured flat, you're going to kick them out, kick them to the curb, not use them because you're saying Earth isn't flat. Well, what about the flat Earth you needed in your measurement? You're not using that anymore then? You're saying that things get obscured at a horizon in the distance. That's based on Earth curve maths. 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height off surface level. Deny that Earth is flat and you deny your own stupid maths. Now, I'm telling you as a friend, as a baller, I'm a ball believer too. Did you know? Yeah? I'm just better educated in the ball belief that we both hold. Now, as a better educated baller, I'm telling you, you retard. Earth's measured flat at surface level to believe in a ball. I believe in a ball and understand that Earth is measured flat to believe in it. Do you deny the Earth that's measured flat to believe in a ball, like I've told you, as an honest, true ball believer, that we measure Earth flat for that ball belief? It's called surface level. Now, if you want to be thick and deny the surface level we'll measure to assert your stupid blockage that you put in the chat that Neil read out, then you'll be denying the Earth curve maths that we, collectively, you and I together, must accept. So, Dumbo from chat, either get on your knees and acknowledge surface level that we'll be measuring for Earth curve maths like a good globe-believing Wally, or deny the surface level measurement you'll need in your Earth curve maths, in which case you're just denying your Earth curve maths. The same maths you appealed to suggest that things are obscured in the distance. Below a surface level we'll be measuring. Dum-dum. Now, you may not like that me, being the newest globe believer on the block, is telling you that you will be on your knees acknowledging the flat surface level you'll measure for your Earth curve maths. You don't have to like it. But I am Nathan Oakley, the globe believer, and I am telling you in no uncertain terms, fellow globe-believing idiot, you will acknowledge the flat Earth that is measured to believe in Earth curve. Hope we are all clear. Kelrick says, hey all. Good to see you in the chat. Hey, Kelrick. Says lots of other people greeting him. Or her. I think Kelrick's female. Good to have you.
The sun doesn't change angular size. That's your argument, Deuce? Really?
Angular size requires a plane of reference. Now, that plane of reference doesn't necessarily have to be the surface of Earth. It can be formed by your eye. But your eye forming a plane of reference to describe the angular size of the sun not changing in not actual size as it moves in a globe face from its not actual position refracted by rhetoric doesn't really hold much weight when I break it down for the nonsense waffle that the globe rhetoric holds in that regard, and point out that we will need a plane of reference to describe angular size from the eye. Now, the surface of Earth has no bearing if you believe it's ball-shaped, but meanwhile, the formation of your ball belief, like the Earth curve maths itself, requires Earth is measured flat for the angles of elevation to the stars that create a hemispherical view, polaris-centric, to extrapolate a ball from. So like with Glurf maths, you're going to have to get on your knees and acknowledge how Earth is measured flat at the equatorial plane for your idiot globe belief. I mean, I'm a globe believer too. I feel stupid as a globe believer, but I am one. The latest and greatest globe believer. Just like Jaren. Yeah? Take it as read. I'm just like Jaren. I believe in a globe too. I understand how we made it with flat Earth angle measurements to the stars in this instance. I understand as the latest and greatest globe believer just how flat Earth must be measured for me to believe in a globe. And you will understand too, chat skank. Don't think there's anything else in the chat, I'm afraid. It's mostly Divergent Droid shouting us out, I'm afraid, Neil.
No, it's mostly this guy just repeating his nonsense, saying you're not answering his question. You didn't answer his question about sunsets. You didn't answer his rebuttal as a joke. He's in a lot of pain. Deuce is in a lot of pain.
Is he paying me to answer his questions? What is this? You've got to answer my questions. Come and paint my house. You haven't painted my house yet. What are you doing? Get over here and paint my house. Now, this isn't a scenario where I'm suddenly at your beck and call to answer your bleeding questions, because you've got a lot of them, because you now found out that Earth's flat, and you've got a lot of questions that I've got to answer, have I? No. I don't have to answer anything. Now, you don't seem to understand what's happening. I'm telling you, as your superior globe proponent, I know how the globe is made. You obviously don't, because you keep talking about how Earth isn't flat. Really? What about surface level in Earth curve maths? Now, that's not me asking. It's rhetorical. What about it means, well, it won't work unless you've got a flat earth to measure. That's not me needing to answer anything from you, chat skank. It's me telling you, as the superior disseminator of globe facts. See this on screen now? See that globe? That's yours and mine. I believe in that globe. And the flat earth that's measured at the equatorial plane at vernal equinox to establish latitude. You see that angle? It terminates inside the ball. I believe I'm in hell standing on a plane to measure this angle because I want to believe I'm on a ball like you want to believe it. Now, you're stupid and don't really understand how to correctly believe you're on a ball. You keep denying the flat earth that gets measured to believe you're on a ball. It's right here on screen. This idiot from chat who says, you can just say it, but saying it don't make it so. Really? So this surface level isn't so, is it, chat skank? Not so. Okay, well, if Earth isn't flat for surface level measurements of height and parallel eye level, then we'll chuck this to the curb then, won't we? This won't get used then, right? We'll be disposing of this. Because apparently Chat Skank says, just saying surface level doesn't make it so. Well, it's in your Earth curve maths. Yeah? I mean, sorry, I'll rephrase it. Earth. I'm the latest globe believer. I'm just as stupid as Jaren. I'm more than happy to put my hand in there. I am just as thick as Jaren Campanella. I, too, now believe in a ball. It's just I believe in a ball that relies on having a surface level to measure. You understand, globe believers in the chat? You understand? We must have this surface level. Feel free to tell me that it's just my words. As I rub your faces in your surface level that we will be measuring flat Earth for the inference of this horizon below surface level, this bit here. Yeah? Below the surface level we need resides this orthographic representation mathematically depicting a horizon that's below a measured surface level. What's that? It's just the words. It's not a flat earth that gets measured always. Why is it here in your maths then? I don't understand. Maybe you can explain it to me. Maybe I'm not the learned globe believer I thought when I look at earth curve maths and read English. Because Chat Skank says no, says it's just words. It's not me measuring a flat earth when I, a honest-to-goodness, globe-believing, true-to-form globe believer, measure the surface level. Apparently, the chat-skanking idiots who are also on a globe tell me, no, Nathan, you're not allowed to believe in this surface level we're measuring that's in Earth curve maths because Earth isn't flat. We haven't got a surface level to measure. All right. Well, I just chuck this to the curb then, I guess. Yeah? Don't use this to prove who are on a ball. Sorry, in a ball. Vernal equinox. Anybody else from the chat got anything they want to add? Happy birthday, America. There's Rich. Nobody here's that thick. Says Jambo. I don't know. There's plenty of quiet people in the chat that don't pipe up. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, he dated himself. He said you cannot convert meters to kilometers. So he's in pain, and that's his rebuttal. Don't waste your time with him anymore. He's got to answer to what you gave.
But his rebuttal, I wasn't seeking a rebuttal. It's not a debate. Some people are under a misapprehension. When I put these things out there, that's not me inviting you to respond. I literally couldn't care less what you have as a response. What's that? You can't convert meters into kilometers. So let's just break that down. Okay. Number one, that's an ad hominem attack based on a misspeak from about 5 or 6 years ago. Number two, meters, kilometers, miles, inches, centimeters, these are all linear flat earth measurements. The ones that you said that we hadn't got and nobody had presented. It was a linear flat earth measurements, like on the maps. Again, not seeking rebuttal. This isn't a debate. This isn't me debating you. But in your mind, you've been convinced by other idiots around you that there's a debate to be had here. No, you are wrong. You are mistaken. There is no debate. There's no coming to me and telling me, you're wrong about the flat earth surface level in my earth curve maths that I want you to believe isn't flat. No, that's just you being incredibly stupid and not acknowledging and getting on your knees to acknowledge the flat Earth that you will be measuring at surface level for your Earth code math belief. It's not my problem. Not my belief. It's not something I'm debating you about. These are stone cold facts that you don't have to like. To believe in a ball, you will measure Earth flat. What's that? You want to debate that? I don't care. Go ahead. You should be talking to a brick wall, because I don't care. You can dispute it all you like. But what are you going to do? Like I gave you the options. Okay, so not flat surface level then. We'll be tossing out these maths then, because they're implicit in your maths. So you don't want to use a flat Earth measurement then? Okay, well don't. I don't care. Oh, what you do want to use the surface level measurement. Get on your knees and acknowledge how flat Earth is measured. That's it. You want to use a flat Earth measurement, feel free. I'm not stopping you. You don't want to use it, feel free. You know, toss them out, I don't care. But it isn't a debate anymore. Maybe this isn't sinking in. It's like, you haven't answered my questions. Oh, you haven't painted my house, have you? You know? I'm not obliged to, Dumbo. I'm telling you what's what. And it's an indisputable fact that I'm laying out when I do. Earth's measured flat. These aren't disputable facts.
Nathan, if he tosses out the measurements, he's tossing out his globe.
No, feel free. Toss out the surface level. Toss out vernal equinox equatorial planes. Toss it all out. I don't care. You need it to believe in your ball if you understand it. Now, you can pretend that you don't need it or utilise it and then whistle past it like we haven't noticed. You can do all those things. And then pretend there's a debate to be had after you've measured flat Earth, calculated a ball, and then turn around to tell me that I have to answer your questions about how ball-shaped it isn't. I don't care. You can believe that is what's going on here. It isn't. It stopped being the case about a year ago, when the penny finally dropped. Oh, there isn't any debate. The whole game was to make it seem like there was. And while these numpties in chat, you haven't answered my questions. No, I haven't, have I? Yeah, I've got so little respect for you that I haven't even read them. Because what difference does it make? I don't care about your questions. I care about as much about your questions as you care about painting my house. But, those people in chat who are concerned with my answers to their questions, you can get them all from a book. It's coming out very soon. Just buy my book and you'll find all the answers you need. It'll cost you money. Alternatively, you can come on the show and say, you're wrong. When you say Earth's measured flat, it's just words. And I'll go, what about the surface level then in the old Earth curve maths then that we're measuring our height off? We're not going to use that. Not needed or anything, right? What are you going to do then? Tell me it's just words?
What colour do you need your house painting?
Earth curve blue.
Have you shouted out Pablo
blue,
yet?
I like that. That's not.
Dude, did I shout out the $100 super chat? No, I didn't. My condolences, says Pablo. Thank you very much. Yeah, sad times. Rest in peace, David Frank Oakley.
Yeah, this guy Deuce is in serious pain, Nathan. There's nothing you could do about that. They're all in pain. But yeah, and they're asking about the book, when you think it's going to be released. I don't know. When can you give a date, roughly?
I would think it would get released. After tomorrow?
I said autumn, around autumn time.
Yeah, it'd probably
and
be
this
autumn. Fall for you guys. Yes. About autumn time. End of summer, start of autumn, something like that. If we carry on at the lick that we were carrying on yesterday, we'll have it done within 3 weeks. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I would.
We're on chapter 11, and at this point we are adding stuff to it, which is why Adam and QE are getting so much credit at the moment, because they are adding stuff to the book. And each time they want to tell me about it, they're like, look, this chapter started off as 1,800 words. With mine and QE's work, it's now at 2,700 words. You know, we've added a good solid third, and sometimes chapters are even more than that. Like, you've doubled the word count. So like, well, that's literally Adam's words in the book I say the book, my book. Well, it's like, that's why they'll get credit. Now, I'll lean into them being ghostwriters. They're not. They're helping me write the book and make it the best book in the world. And they'll get thanks for it, Adam and Quantum Eraser will. But that process is elongated. It's been to my detriment financially. It's the reason I'm selling microphones. But it also benefits the end user, the reader, the customer, the person purchasing it. Now, that's what I will see this as. It's a transactional thing, much like Dave with his app. But the value proposition is considerably higher. And I'll be out there, I'll be doing the same thing. So if you're like, isn't this a bit like what Dave Weiss does? Yep, that's right. Get my hands dirty. Out and about, selling stuff. It's just not an app, it's a book. The best book you'll ever read on the subject.
That's a bad comparison. Do not compare this to Dave Weiss's app. Yeah, you're selling something, but what you're selling is worth every freaking penny. We talk about measurements. We talk about proofsies.
Yeah, it also does break down heliocentrism. I mean, as much as it's kind of happening as I'm watching yesterday, it was amusing to me watching Adam and Quantum Eraser break down a certain aspect that isn't yet in the book, but might make it into the book. There's a general discussion about whether or not a certain aspect should be included. Now, a huge chunk of what is Flat Earth debate, sectionally, was occupied with this particular subject matter. But given the 2025 rhetoric of all roads leading to a flat Earth, there's a reason why currently this particular aspect of the book hasn't been put in by me, doesn't want to be added by Quantum Eraser, but does want to get added by Adam Meakin. Now, that aspect is the Rayleigh criterion specifically. Now, if you'd have listened to what my general rhetoric was 12 months ago, my attitude towards people when people suggested we debate about perspective in general was, no, this is not my burden. I don't care what the horizon is. The only reason I'm being told I should care is because my opponent utilises the horizon to suggest that it's at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height of a flat Earth. So I genuinely don't care anymore in 2025 why the horizon forms in the way it does or how perspective works. Now, someone like, I don't know, Ranty was actually there while we were talking to Life is Short specifically about this subject, the Rayleigh criterion perspective. And even then, we did not realise the flat Earth that was necessitated to just have the discussion about perspective. Fast forward 3 or 4 years, and Conspiracy Catz gives up his channel because he has to concede a flat Earth just to detail the perspective in the, what was it, Blackpool Tower? I think it was Blackpool Tower. It's a long time ago. You have to forgive my hazy memory. The subject of the debate is irrelevant. The end result of Conspiracy Catz, quote, I'll give you a flat Earth for that, end quote, and then saying goodbye to his channel and handing it off to MC Toon. That's the order of events that happens when you appreciate in 2025 that all measurements of Earth without exception will be flat. Describing anything with respect to the perspective view that encounters any man who looks at anything ever, that's notwithstanding that statement. It's the same statement. All measurements of Earth will be flat. So when Conspiracy Catz comes along and tries to detail how he'll measure the perspective, he'll be measuring a flat Earth for that. Quote, I'll give you a flat Earth for that. Yeah, you're damn right you will. Because all measurements of Earth will always be flat. There are no exceptions. But our tosspots on the globe side want to come to us in the chat and tell us, just saying it don't make it so. Well, stop using them then. Yeah? If you want to tell me it ain't flat, stop using flat measurements. Then you won't have to go the way of Conspiracy Catz. Bugger off into a tearful goodbye, like Hulk walking into the violin-soaked credit scene, only to then make videos about ghosts. What a wanker. How's it going, Catz? You having fun making ghost videos, dum-dum? I'll give you a flat Earth for that. What was the other little nugget from Conspiracy Catz? Without the container, there can be no pressure. Yeah, that pretty much puts an end to the idea that we've got a sky vacuum, eh? What's that? You giving up your channel to some other numpty called MC Toon? Oh, bye. I won't be watching your ghost videos. I think you're an idiot. Yeah, Earth's measured flat. Perspective, linear distance, height. All of these things that the ballers use regularly. What's that? You want to justify why you've measured your height off a flat Earth? Well, because it's so big. All right, I'm a baller. I know why we measure Earth flat. It's really, really big and flat. That's why we measure it flat. You see this elevation angle? This is what they measured in Antarctica. Elevation angles to the sun off a flat Earth. But it's only because it's so big. It's really, really big and flat. I mean, that doesn't speak to how ball-shaped it is. It's just speaking to how flat we have to measure it. Like on this diagram. I mean, it can't not be. It's an angle to the sun. Elevation angles, they're called. Yeah? Now, obviously, Toon's on my side now, right? Hey, Toon! Yeah, you're on my side now. Yeah? We can talk to an audience together, like you and Jaren would do, right? About how Earth gets measured flat with these angles. Now it's not me rubbing it in your face like a complete idiot. I'm on your side now. I want to celebrate how Earth gets measured flat with you. We can do it together, Toon, as ballers. We can celebrate this measurement, yeah? You and I can celebrate this elevation angle measurement of a flat Earth. I mean, previously I said with disdain. 101 times Toon was in my chat yesterday. Weren't you, Toon? Yeah? Maybe that dude in the chat is Toon, terrified to use his real name. Deuce, right? Who knows? Who cares? It's irrelevant to me. We measure Earth flat and so does Toon. I've told him 101 times. And there it is. This is it. This is the elevation angle. This is what he measured. But let's celebrate it together as ballers, yeah? You and me, we'll all celebrate how Earth gets measured flat with these angles that you measured, Toon. Let's talk about them together, yeah? What's that I hear? I hear something echoing around the ball. Where are the guns, Nathan? Where are the guns? Can you hear that?
Yeah, well, when you deflect the measurements, that's what you get, Nathan.
Yeah, that was the quote from a man who was presented with this flat Earth measurement that's absolutely required by us ballers to believe we're on a ball, right? I've reached out to Jaren, by the way. Maybe he doesn't realise that I'm a baller now. Yeah? I've reached out to Jaren and he's completely ignored me. I've said, what, do you want to debate? You spoke to me before. We've had several debates. Yeah, I've gone on your channel. On your neutral channel. Right, Jaren? Well, I'm a baller now too, right? Yeah, man, I'm all paid up, full-on shill. Paid up for the ball. You and I together. Funny handshakes and all. I'll be there in my yellow coat. But I just want to discuss with you how we measure Earth flat with these elevation angles. The same ones I told Toon about 100 times. Maybe he didn't mention them to you when he was in Antarctica with you. But we're all ballers together now, right? So we're all going to have a nice little loving. We're all going to discuss the necessity to measure Earth flat. Toon's done it. You've done it. We've all done it. We all need to measure Earth flat. We can talk about how big it has to be. How big and flat it has to be, right? Life is like a Home Depot. Yeah? Life is like a Home Depot. Big and flat like the measurements of Earth that we need for being on a ball. I can't wait to talk to these numpties about how ball-shaped we measure a flat Earth to achieve. Can't wait.
But you don't understand large spheres, Nathan.
I do understand large spheres. I understand how big and flat we measure Earth because it's a really big equatorial plane inside a really big ball. I do understand this. How big and flat the equatorial plane must be to measure the angles to the stars to plonk inside a ball for us to imagine us standing in. Like this diagram on screen. I didn't make this diagram. This is a ball-believing diagram. A good, honest-to-goodness, all shoulders together, ball-believing diagram of being inside a ball on a flat plane measuring angles to stars. Like the ones Toon measured. I don't know if he realises. I think he does. But I mentioned it 101 times, Toon. The most recent was yesterday in my comments, right, Toon? You measure Earth flat. For us, together, you, me and Jaren, all cuddled up to believe we're on a ball. Because I'm the latest. Yeah, I believe we're on a ball. I measure the Earth flat to achieve it. Like in this diagram here. Like a good ball believer, I understand how we measure Earth flat to get onto the... Sorry, into the ball. Go ahead.
Hey, Nathan, would you like to see Jaren's modus tollens? I can read it for you.
I doubt it'll be a modus tollens.
Let me read it to you.
Yeah.
On the top, it says modus tollens. If the Earth is flat with a clockwise sun that goes around the continents in 24 hours, P, then no person standing outside that sun orbit on the outskirts of that map can see a sun moving backwards and circling their head for 24 hours, Q.
That's a reification fallacy, though, isn't it? We're not standing on any maps. The map is not the terrain.
Exactly.
He needs to look at what a reification fallacy. That's straight away. That's not a modus tollens. That's a reification fallacy. Standing on a map? Hello? No.
Anyway, it ends with backwards and circling. We went and checked, and the sun did circle backwards above our heads for way more than 24 hours, not Q. So the Earth is not flat, not P.
All right. Why did he measure it flat then?
Oh boy, he's in trouble right away.
No, I mean, I'm a baller. I want to know as a new baller. If it's not flat, why did we level the cameras to a plane of reference and measure elevation angles to the sun for 24 hours then? I don't really understand. If it's not flat, why are we measuring it flat? Like in this diagram, on screen now, from Ball Believers. It's not my diagram, this is from Ball Believers. We've got azimuth and altitude, and we've got a measurement of the sun. Yeah? This is what we do. We measure elevation angles to the sun. I mean, I'll put this to 101 times to Toon. I mean, if we're not measuring Earth flat, and Earth's not flat, not Q, not P, right, Jaren? If not P, not Q, well, then why do we measure it that way? It seems really silly if you've got a not P, not Q scenario where you say it's not measured flat, to measure it flat, like on screen. Now, I just need it explaining to me as a new ball believer. Yeah? I've asked you, haven't I, Jaren? I sent you a message that you ignored. Yeah, about talking about this stuff? I want to celebrate this. Yeah? This that you measured in Antarctica, remember? Yeah? Or did you forget? Or did you want to deny that this is the ground? Did you want to deny that this measurement took place? No? I don't mind. You can deny it. I mean, we can deny the measurements you took in Antarctica as being off a flat Earth. You can say that this airline, for an angle that's measured, is not the ground. You can do that. You can lie about what you've measured. But obviously, if you do that, you're tossing out what Will Duffy's calling experiments, because that's what he's calling experiments. Measurements of a flat Earth is what are getting labelled as globe experiments. So you can say you're not doing this. Here's another one. This isn't mine either. I mean, these are all coming from ball-believing books that I've studied. 10th Man went and paid thousands of dollars for them so he could show us how we measure a flat Earth to believe we're on a ball. Now, I've been going through this for quite some time. I've just been going about it the wrong way. I've been going about it like a flat earther, like I need to explain to you how this measurement of a flat Earth means we're measuring a flat Earth. But I need to rephrase it because I'm a baller now. So this measurement of a flat Earth is how we measure Earth flat to believe we're on a ball together. Yeah? So we can believe we're on a ball. You, that's Jaren and Toon, McKeegan. Yeah, you. You need to understand how we measure Earth flat to believe you're on a ball. Yeah? Now, I'm appealing to you as a fellow ball believer. Yeah? Yeah? I just want you to be educated. I'm just trying to help you. Yeah, I'm on your side when I tell you how you, that's McToon, Keegan, Jaren, yeah? How you must understand how we measure Earth flat with these angles that Toon understands. I've told him 100 times. Now, he seems to come back to me when I was a flat earther, past tense, yeah? And say, just saying it don't mean we're measuring flat Earth elevation angles. A bit like the guy in chat called Deuce, yeah? Deuce, like a poo. Yeah? Well, we do. Here he is on screen. Yeah, that's how we measure a flat to believe we're on a ball. And I want us all to embrace these measurements that Toon took. I want you to embrace the flat Earth you measured. Not stick your hand in the sand and say, nah, this isn't us measuring the surface. This isn't the surface anymore. Yeah, we're going to measure this non-surface, calculate sphericity, and then say it's the surface. Yeah. No, we need to all understand implicitly just how flat Earth is getting measured. Yeah? Together as ball believers. People who believe in a ball after measuring Earth flat, like we do. Now, these aren't contestable facts. Yeah? My belief in a ball spans and stems directly from measuring a flat Earth. I understand this now as a learned ball believer. As a good, honest-to-goodness ball believer with the right intentions. Yeah, I want the public to know Earth's a ball based on these flat Earth measurements of a plane. Yeah? I want them to know just how bally we can believe it to be after we measure Earth flat to create that ball to believe we're in. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help Dave McKeegan because he's not there yet. I used to be where Dave McKeegan is now. But I've learned a lot about the ball as a ball believer. And I want to help Dave McKeegan. I want to help Jaren. Yeah? I want to help Toon. I'm on their side. I want them to understand how Earth gets measured flat with McToon's elevation angles in Antarctica or in his 10K challenge. I want people to understand that. Toon's halfway to helping me, help you, help the world understand how we measure Earth flat to believe we're on a ball. My bad. In a ball. Yeah?
Hey, Nathan, before you end the show, I posted some pictures that 10th Man took the other day from Nevada. And he's got a little saying in there if you want to close with that.
You read it. I'll dig it out. What's the... They're in Master B, right?
Yes.
Oh, how do I bring them up, though? I don't know how I can present them. I'm only on one monitor and I don't know how to present them.
That sucks.
Just tell us what they are and tell us what he said, and I'll see if I can present them while you're doing that. I'll see if I can figure out how to get Teams. It's because we've swapped from Skype and I've never got around to actually... I haven't presented anything from Skype since it swapped. So it's just one of those.
Oh. All right, he said, early morning in Nevada, took some pictures. Yet the globers believe parallel sun rays are necessary for celestial navigation to be accurate because the entire method relies on the assumption that sunlight reaches Earth at the same angle everywhere. Due to the sun's vast distance from the Earth, those who have eyes see the light. And he's got pictures of the sun coming through the clouds. 1, 2, 3, about 3 pictures. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, it just gives me a white screen if I try and present it, so it's obviously something I'm going to have to work on in terms of getting it to work. Yeah, it just gives me a white screen. Hey-ho.
Where's that at, on Master B or on the Discord chat?
Master B.
I know what I can do. Let me just try this. It's worth a try. I'll see if I can present it in the Hangout itself, and then, because the Hangout's being presented correctly. There we go. Excellent. Well, that's a workaround that will end up being a permanent feature. Excellent. Nothing more permanent than a temporary fix. These are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. Nice pictures.
Very nice, yeah. Anything anyone wants to add? Our beautiful flat Earth that we measure to believe we're on a ball.
Yeah, what's this guy, Nathan?
Well, I just want to say I've been enlightened that we don't live on Earth. We live inside of Earth. We live a bug's life. We live in Earth.
No. Don't misconstrue what I said. To mathematise orbital motion from an equatorial plane, the Copernican description of moving around the sun is described from within the ball. Don't know what I mean? Look at the diagram of orbital motion. You've got the sun in the middle and then an Earth that moves around it. The Earth itself is sat within a plane of reference. That is to say that that plane bifurcates both the sun and Earth. And the plane that is describing the angles from within the Earth is the equatorial plane. That equatorial plane is transposed into an orbital motion around the sun. Ergo, to describe orbital motion, you will and do describe that motion from within in a ball, not from on a ball. Make sense?
I know. I was being facetious.
No, well, jolly good. Anything else anyone wants to add? No? And with that, I'll say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Primary Streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So, another massive thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and Jeepers panels, and I will see you all in the next video.